Well, thank you all and welcome to Park City. It was great to get to know some of you last night and enjoy the beautiful mountain scenery. We used to do this event every year. The last time we did this event was in 2019, and this is our first year to be back since the pandemic. So I hope everybody enjoys the next couple of days and hope you take some time to get out and enjoy the scenery, enjoy nature, and maybe get down to Main Street and enjoy Park City. So for the next 2 days, we want to dive into the topic of innovation and change. So we're on the verge of a new frontier where many different technologies are coming together at the same time. We've been talking about metaverse, we've been talking about Web3, we've been talking about blockchain. We had a demo last night of a brain-computer interface, and just recently, the generative artificial intelligence has just taken this world by storm. When we began planning this event, Gen AI was not even on anybody's radar. We had to pivot to begin to start to think about the impact of generative AI. This was in December and January when this came on the scene. There's a lot of questions. How fast can people adopt this type of change? How do you prioritize the investments in the various technologies that are coming our way? At the same time, we're on the verge of change with geopolitical forces that are uncertain. So the world's just not as stable as it was just a few years ago. Last spring, we held a survey, and we surveyed about 200 executives. 77% of those executives believe that generative AI will have a bigger impact on broader society than any other emerging technology in the next 3 to 5 years. And at the same time, 60% of those executives say that their company is 1 to 2 years away from implementing its first solution, which incorporates generative AI. If we were to do that survey again, those numbers might be very different. You know, a lot of this is a result of not quite understanding the nature of this type of technology and also understanding how to prioritize the investments in their businesses. Andrew Ng equates artificial intelligence to electricity. And he has a very good metaphor around electricity. And if you think of electricity as a new power source, or if you think of artificial intelligence as a new power source, kind of like electricity, you might think of generative AI, which is an AI that can create, an AI that creates new data, it creates new ideas, it can create art, music, it can create stories, it can make things up, much like human. So like any power source, the value isn't in the power source itself, it's the applications, it's how it's applied, it's the innovations that come along. So when the light bulb emerged, you had a radical shift in productivity. Factories were illuminated, and the workday became 24 hours. You had shifts, and then you had other innovation on top of that. The light bulb was the killer app, but then you had servos, you had electric motors. You reconfigured how society worked. You had subsequent innovations like computers and electronics. So the innovations to come, ChatGPT and these early generative AI apps are just the beginning. We're going to look back at 2023 and think how crude and how primitive these early applications are. And with any innovation, any technology change, like the Industrial Revolution, brings with it its challenges. There's always fears about job loss, there's fears about safety, there's fears about the societal implications. We've had these challenges before. It was more physical in the Industrial Revolution. Now we're dealing with a different type of safety. We're dealing with challenges like deepfake. You can counterfeit anybody. You can create a video image, you can create a simulation of a voice that is indistinguishable from the real person. There's algorithmic bias. We're going to become more and more reliant on these technologies, and aligning these technologies with the interest of humans, with the interest of our culture and the values of our businesses are going to be very important. So, as we did with other technologies, cybersecurity is going to be a big challenge. With traditional computing, we were concerned with penetration of the firewall of the system. With AI is a probabilistic type of technology. It's not always right. It's never going to be 100% right. It opens the door to poison the data, to manipulate the data, to create outcomes that are not what was initially desired. So the field of artificial intelligence brings new types of cybersecurity threats. So how do you fight this? We're going to have a discussion with a panel of cybersecurity experts who have been particularly focused on artificial intelligence. How do you secure the data pipeline? How do you secure artificial intelligence? It's a new challenge. The global economy is going to be impacted by artificial intelligence. A recent study by McKinsey estimates that by 2030, AI will add $13 trillion to the global economy. So this has enormous potential, but the devil's in the details with these numbers. What does it offset? What comes out of the global economy when AI is generating such value? And investors are not sitting on the sideline. Even in today's economy, investors are not sitting on the sideline. We're seeing investors move very quickly into AI startups, finance, law, healthcare, accounting, all ushering in a new era of automation. The pace of adoption, as the video indicated, is unprecedented. The first million users for ChatGPT took 5 days. It took Instagram 5 months. It took Facebook 10 months. It took Twitter 2 years. It took Netflix 3.5 years. The pace of adoption is just astounding with ChatGPT. It is improving at a rapid pace. GPT-4 was released in March, which is an order of magnitude increase in the size of the language model over GPT 3.5, and it is spurring more and more plugins, more and more adoption of GPT. So it's going to be very difficult to measure the pace of change. So this may be daunting, but we've always adapted, we've always adjusted. It will seem very normal in the next few years. The same resilience that saw us harness the internet will bring us through this era of generative AI.